Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Talk O'Clock. It's Thursday and again I'm covering something that is more on the technique or supplies side of artwork and not, well, all the background stories and whatnot with it. So today I thought I would go for canvases, which is one kind of surface that I'm painting on. There's others and the vlogs for that will follow, but I thought I'd start with canvases. And there's just so many, and you just really have to find the one you like for the way you paint or what kind of artwork you do. There's some that are low quality, medium quality, high quality, and of course there are some that are more, well, on the cheaper side of the scale or really, really expensive, and you just gotta find out what's suitable for your kind of painting. So since I'm doing very many things, I'm working with very thin layers of just acrylics, I'm working with different kind of gels, I'm working with mixed media and whatnot. I need different kinds of canvases, some of the stronger ones and some of those, well, where the cheaper ones are really just enough, because I'm not going to put a lot on there. So I just wanted to show you the different kinds of canvases that I use, and I do have them in different sizes. I just took the smaller ones because of, well, camera frame, and I'm sitting at my crafting table and not in front of my easel, so just for the well, space purposes, I'm not gonna bring in my huge canvases, which are I think the biggest ones I have is 1.20 by 80 or something. So not gonna happen. I'm gonna start with the cheapest one that I own. And I mean cheap with pricing and with quality. So this is really on the low medium scale part of the quality, and they're really, really cheap when it comes to pricing. Cost me maybe like 3 or 4 euros, which is not a lot for canvas. And this is pre-primed canvas, 3 times primed, and it's 100% cotton, which has a weight of 380 grams per square meter. So these come with those funny little wooden pieces here that you can put in the edges and then stretch the canvas once you have something wet on it and it could go wobbly or something. So depending on what medium you'd use on these kinds of canvases, they will go wobbly. Usually I'm just too lazy to put in the wooden pieces often. I mean, at least if it's not an order from a customer. If it's an order, of course, I'm gonna whack them in and that's that. But if I'm just trying something or if I just want to do something, I'm often just too lazy to put those in. So on this kind of a canvas, I'm usually not using a lot of water, but go in with the acrylics straight, like not watering them down at all, and just going, well, maybe with a palette knife or something that prevents watering down the paint, or that well, you want to have thick texture with palette knives, for example. So there's just so much weight on the canvas then that it won't go wobbly. So I'm using these kinds for exactly that purpose, or I'm using them with 3D stuff like putting wood on it, or just spray painting them and making funny patterns and whatnot. So these are really, well, I'd say they're either for mixed media, where I put a lot of weight on them, or they are for acrylics with a palette knife. I'm not watering down the medium a lot on this particular one. I'm just gonna put it down there. Then another one, which is like on the other end of the spectrum that I just talked about, is another one that is primed. And this one is also 100% cotton, but it has a different kind of a bag. It has an MDF frame, so you don't need to put in those wooden pieces. And this one is way more heavy and, well, I'd say different. It's just, it's not as flimsy and probably wobbly as this one. So also the stretching that is done here is way more firm on this particular one. However, since you can't put in those wooden pieces here, you have to make sure that you use it for the right purposes. Otherwise, also that canvas could stretch with water and whatnot and get a bit wobbly. This one has, by the way, only 300 grams per square meter. So I'm using those mainly for commissions, because, well, these are way more expensive, but they also are way higher quality canvas than this one here. So this is the cheapy weepy, and this is more on the expensive side of things, at least when it comes to a canvas that you can buy a normal craft store. A thing that I'm not using these ones for is shadow frames. So if somebody wants a canvas framed, I'm using the thinner ones with the wooden thing here, and not the ones with the MDF, just because you can't get drills of those frames in here as easily, and then it could, the MDF could splinter and split, and it would ruin everything. So I'm going for these ones. These are available with higher quality and for higher prices as well, just these kinds of canvases. So I would go for those. These are actually heavy enough and build well enough that you don't need to frame them with a shadow frame. Then there's the special canvases. So these are pretty much the normal ones. I use any media on them. And any kind of a painting, like subject-wise. And then there's the specials. The first one being these kinds of canvases. They also have MDF in the back. And they're bent, they're round. They have weird shapes, and there's different kinds of these canvases. And they make great painting, modern painting, or something that you'd hang on a wall, maybe a triptych or whatnot. This one's black because I already painted on it twice. And this one is my test, my test canvas, by the way. So I'm putting a layer of black on top, and then I'm trying something new. So I really like these kinds of canvases, but only for a certain kind of painting, and that is abstract paintings or just a lovely background with something on top that is 3D. So it being a flower or other embellishments or whatnot. I would not really paint complex scenes on those, just because they're bent. So when you paint or when you look at them later, a perfectly painted painting could look distorted just because of the curve here. And it would just be a shame to put hours and hours of well, time and effort and whatnot in there just to have a perfectly fine and technically high quality painting come out totally distorted because of the bent canvas. And it's very difficult to calculate in and well, incorporating the distortion of a painting when it maybe comes to portrait. Let's go for portrait. If you would paint a portrait on here, you have to calculate a lot to or try out a lot to have the portrait look normal, as if it would be painted on a flat canvas, on this distorted one or on this bent one. So while painting, it would just feel unnatural the way if you paint portraits on normal canvases otherwise. So I wouldn't just go for it. Of course, if you have time to kill and really want to go for it, please. But I'm using these canvases more for abstract paintings, for cartoons, for home decor or something. So these are very special, but they're also very pricey, and I just have 3 of them, and I'm testing a lot of things on these canvases meanwhile. I don't know if when I sold the last one. I don't know. Anyways, so the last canvas, and that kind of canvas is my favorite one, although you didn't see me paint a lot on this kind of a canvas the last 1.5 years, is the natural canvas, unprimed, and it's just normal. They don't even have, do they say how heavy it is? No, they don't. Oh well. It's just normal linen, and it's, again, as I said, it's not primed. It has a slightly better wood back here, so it's the stretching is done it's a very firm canvas, and it holds its shape. However, I'm only using this kind of a canvas for certain paintings, and I'm gonna put one photo of a painting that I did in here so that you know what I mean. I'm not gonna cover the whole canvas with color if it's an unprimed one, just because the natural and grayish look of the canvas enhances the colors that you put on it. So as soon as you put color down, you have a way harsher contrast and way more definition already, without even taking care of details or whatnot, what you want to paint. So it's just the way it looks because of the gray background instead of a white background that we are so used to with the primed canvases. It automatically looks way more sophisticated. Also, these kinds of canvases are very good for studies, so just having one object and not having a whole scenery painted there, or if you paint a scenery, leaving empty canvas on top and or on the bottom, or just on one side or something. Also, I'm using way fewer colors of those, so there's usually 2 or 3 that I'm using, and on there I don't fiddle and fuddle for hours and hours to get a layer right. It's maximum 3 layers that I'm painting on these kinds of canvases, and because the color doesn't flow as well on this canvas, it already gets a certain look when you just go in with one color or one stroke. There's a roughness to it, to the painting, that is just very nice. You don't have, like, for example, I hope you can see it here, you can see the brush strokes, and you have these noses or these lines that overlay on a very smooth canvas if you have a lot of paint on your brush, which is nice when you want to go with a palette knife. You want to actually go for this kind of structure, but with the unprimed one, this doesn't happen. You have to have a whole bucket load of color on your brush to achieve that here, and even then it's very difficult because the canvas is not primed. It soaks the color in way more, and it almost automatically blends into the adjacent color, especially look here, that I'm adding a photo here of a seashell that I made, and this one has only 2 layers, and it automatically blended between the yellow and the blue, and or the white and the blue. So this painting was done in 10 minutes, believe it or not. And I really like these kinds of paintings on this kind of a canvas. This is actually my favorite canvas, as I already said, although I didn't paint on it for the last 1.5 years, just because I had so many old canvases in stock that I wanted to use first for studies, and I also went for papers and whatnot a lot of times. So I just bought a ton of canvases at the end of December to, well, get my stock refilled for 2015, and that's pretty much what I'm going to use this year, and you will see a lot of it in the paintings. Look for the unprimed canvas paintings. I might make one tutorial thingy or something like that later. I don't know yet, but I really like this canvas. So this is it for the canvases. That's all the material I'm using, and I guess next time I have to figure out if I want to go for the artist boards first or for any kinds of papers. Maybe you could let me know if you have a preference what you want to hear about. And otherwise I'm going to talk to you on Saturday when I'm reviewing all the artwork and the paintings that I did this week. Also, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe as always, and if you have any questions, head down to the comment section, leave it there. I will make sure I answer it. Thanks again for watching. Have a very good day. I'm going to see you very soon. Goodbye, take good care.